Okay, am I live? It looks like I'm live. Right on, MSE. Very good. Okay, let me put my keyboard down. It looks like... Okay, so is the sound okay? Because I'm having a ground issue here too, but it's hard for me to tell if it's loud enough that you guys are going to be bugged by it or not. So if there is a bad ground sign, I don't know what to do about it, frankly, at this point. Hey, Victor, how's it going? Okay, let me see, because I'm missing comments here, so let me make sure I'm catching everybody. Hey, Rob. Hey, Nasal Penny, good to see you. Hey, Rational, how's it going? Hey, James, good to see you. MSE, of course. And Victor, all right, I guess I'm caught up. All right, so there we go. Hey, Kate Manda, good to see you. All right, so what am I going to do first? I'm going to have a drink of water first, is what I'm going to do. Well, you know, you need to be able to at least understand what I'm saying, right? Maybe. Well, I don't know, maybe you don't need to understand what I'm saying. Okay, anyway, let me put my hat back on. Keep myself, I don't know if I need the jacket just yet, but here we go. It's amazing how cold my head gets. But anyway, what should I start with? You know, I think I'm going to start with doing some gaming, just because, I don't know, I feel like I need to do a little gaming. So I'm going to do Octoral tonight. So let me move this out of the way. All right. What am I doing here? All right. Do I want to do a daily game? I don't think I did those today. Let's do the daily games. And let me get myself... Do I want to make that smaller? Yeah, that's good enough for now, I guess. Yeah, all right, fine, good enough. I don't know. I'm feeling... Oh, hey, Philip. I think I'm okay. It's been a weird, long day. I spent most of it outside trying to pull weeds. Anyway. Oh, wait, this is in the wrong window. Here we go. And I was about to start typing Cushy Joint Freak, but that would be a stupid idea, wouldn't it? Is there anything I see here? Can I do something with this? So dusty, musty. Okay, it's not dusty because the D's used. So musty or lusty, I guess. Sharp, probably. Nope, no H. What's that going to be there? That, I guess it's the fifth box. I don't see what it is. You know, if anybody wants to chime in with some guesses, feel free. I may abandon this too, because, you know, I don't really play this all that often for the rescue, because I find it frustrating. You know, I realize that I'm favoring that mic, aren't I, because of the way my head's turned. Again, I'm trying a new sort of variation on the camera on a tripod that way. Obviously, there's a camera. And then my screens are over that way. And the mic's obviously... Anyway, I don't know. It seems okay. We'll see how much I like it. Hey, Dylan. Good to see you, too. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say hi to Philip already? I hope I did. Hi, Philip. And Semi-Sigil. All is more or less well. Ah, there you go. Shed is nice. I don't have a... Yeah. Doing some... Well, our whole front yard, backyard, everything's a mess. And so I've been trying to work on the front yard because it seems the easiest one. You know what I mean? So I'll do the one I can do easiest first, right? All right, dude. I don't see anything. I'm going to try lusty, and if that doesn't work, I'll put in musty. What do you know? It was lusty. Yay. Good luck, Bill. So S, where is that going to go? I'm going to try this. What do you know? Good guess, Bill. So what's that one going to be? Small. And then I don't see what the first box is. Oh, hey, Nicholas. What's that? I don't know. Yeah, it can be Cape Manda. It's although I find that if I when I'm on the ground, if I do what they often call like the Asian squat, it's easier on my back than if I just kneel or something. So that helps. Then I have to remember to stand up and walk around every few minutes, kind of thing. And then not to pull too hard on things, right? Or try to pick up heavy things. But yeah, it can be hard on the back for sure. You're right. I don't see. Oh, it's scrap, isn't it? There we go. I just couldn't see that one. That one could be what? D something, DI something. Dinge? No. There's no G. Wow, what's it going to be with the E at the end there? Yeah, save the best till last. Well, our backyard is, well, it's a strange, strange place. It's on a hill. There's part of it that's flat. And it's just, yeah, and there's extra buildings in the back that my dad, anyway, it's a long, weird, it's a strange, strange place. But we call it home. I may abandon this because I'm not seeing what some of these are. Oh, diode, I bet, isn't it? All right, I got that one. APIA. Wow, what's that first one? I'm not seeing it. What's that one there? A and D and I. So Oh, thank you. Doink. Right on. I just couldn't see it, man. Anybody else has suggestions for those other two that I'm not seeing? Oh, is it going to be foamy, isn't it? All right, there we go. And blanky, blanky, blank. And I don't have a whole lot left. Oh, it's going to be Q, isn't it? Oh, no, I thought for sure it was Queen, then maybe. All right, there we go. That's enough of that, isn't it? All right, let's go do... let's do the extreme. I like to do what I find more difficult first and then save the easier ones for last because it seems more relaxing that way in the long run. Let's do the... I'm trying to... Yeah, you're right, Philip, about the house thing. Although my dad's still here, but both my sister and I both have already moved back home, and neither of us are really planning to move out at this point. So the idea is that we'd like to keep it going as a multi-generational house for, but we'll see. Oh, no evil timer yet. You're right. I should probably start it, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's go ahead and kick it off. Although I didn't, well, I won't do it this time just because I'm thinking I might do, where did oh, there it is. It was under other windows. There we go. Okay. All right, there we go. I've been thinking about maybe putting a second timer up for, so like it'll remind me to like, you know, like get up and take breaks and things like that every few minutes or something. I don't know. We'll see. So what is that going to be? Snowy? Oop, I'm in the wrong window again. I keep forgetting to put myself back. Hey, is that Loic? Am I saying that right? I'm doing okay. And you? What was I looking at here? Snowy maybe, right? Yeah, okay. Scoff maybe. And Chase. And oh, I thought that was going to be ISKY on that other one. So the S, what is that going to be? Silky? Okay. Is that going to be Caddy maybe? Spoke or Smoke? How many do I have left? I have 5 to get 4. All right, I think that one is Helix. It's got to be Smoke or Spoke, doesn't it? Nothing else makes sense. So let's let me do it so I can get one of these other ones here too. I don't know what else that's going to be other than Caddy. Well, let's go for it. Yeah, what do you know? MSE. You're welcome, Philip. I hope it, you know, I think I'm going to do that kind of thing periodically just because I think it has value. You know, if it, well, I don't know. Yeah, if it has value for people, then that's a good thing. So thank you. It has value for at least you. Well, more than you. I mean, other people have commented that they appreciated it as well. So it will be a thing that I will do for that very reason now and again. Hey, Mr. Pickle, yeah. Or Pickles, excuse me. So what's that going to be? S Sigma, isn't it? Voila. All right. Oops. Mistakes were made. Hey, Tim. Good to see you. And oh, wow, that's right. You were getting a new place. I forgot all about that, man. So you finally found one and got in there. Right. Good. Good, good, good. All right, see what we get here. All right. I don't see anything super obvious. Let's go ahead and do plum anyway. That's going to be cumin, isn't it? Or is it cumin? Cumin or cumin? Ultra, is that going to be one down there, isn't it? And blast. He's the number 1 on the hero registry. Oh, Taylor, okay. Wow, okay, well, that's a good thing that you're getting some rest then, Rob, yeah? It's going to be Mecca, right? Is that going to be tracked? And, Segway, right? All right. Leary, is there an L over there? Nope. What is over there? Weary. Oops. Spell it properly, right, dude? All right. And what's that one over there? Oh, it's going to be idle, right? Okay. Idol of the King, right? That's a Tennyson thing. I have got a copy of that somewhere. It's probably in that stack of books that I went through. I don't know, was that in my book show and tell? I can't remember. We'll do sequence now, and then we'll do chill. Oh no, I had something wrong with my gut, Tim. But it, it is, well, worked its way out, I guess is the way of putting it. Oh, that's right, Memorial Day weekend, right? For anybody doing anything fun for like a long weekend? Anybody, got a 3-day weekend they're going out of town or something for? Let's go ahead and do plum. Is that going to be patty? And then curve maybe? And rogue maybe? And ditch maybe? Oops, spell it right, Bill. Oh no, it's not ditch, so hitch or witch? Let's say witch, because that gives me a new letter. Nope, okay, let's try hitch. All right. Gully, maybe. Oops. And crier. And greet. And hippo. All right. Okay, I think I need to get some thing going. All right, let's do chill. I like chill because it's chill, man. Plus, it gives me the opportunity to do the whole thing, right? Just for silliness' sake, because you get so many guesses, right? I can do cushy, joint, freak, plum, waged. Do I want to do vixen, squiz, or do I have everything here pretty much right now? Pride. Oops, no, pride the other way, isn't it? And it's going to be flood. Oops, dude. I keep hitting the wrong keys. What's wrong with me today? And meter. And paste. And oops, proof. And there's our and what's that? Fudge. Oops. Snare. All right, there we go. So that's all of today's puzzles for Octortle. Are we more or less okay? More or less caught up with the comments. I think I will take a break from games for just a moment, and let's do some triggers, shall we? I think what should I start with? I'm going to start with glass. I'm going to start with the little small jar, and won't be any mason jar tonight because the one that I would be using is currently trying to grow a ginger bug. I finally got a thermometer and a heating pad and a water purifier pitcher, because the first attempt at doing the ginger bug didn't go, and I think it was too cold. And I don't know, they say that just using tap water might be bad. You should use filtered water or something. At least a couple of people have said that, but of course others have said they just use their tap water. Anyway, I decided just to be safe. If the bug's happier in filtered water, let it be happier in filtered water. So anyway, so I put some filtered water and some sugar and grated up some ginger into the mason jar and put it in this big black tub that I bought to keep it in so I could isolate it from how cold it gets down here, and put a heating pad under that tub that I just turn on every once in a while on low. And I've been able to, for the past 2 days, keep it at, well, not really 2 full days. Yeah, I guess it's going to be 2 full days soon. But anyway, I've been able to keep it between 70 and 75 degrees pretty consistently, so I think that should be a pretty healthy temperature for the bug to grow in. So. Oh, hey, Elijah. Okay, let's do some tapping on it, shall we? I'm going to use the handle of the craft brush. Thanks, Elijah. That's kind of you to say. I'll do a little bit more over here, I guess, yeah. Oh, I also bought myself another green screen. This is a better one. The first one I bought was like the cheapest one I could find, and it's fine, except for it gets wrinkly too easy, which is too difficult for me to make work satisfactorily for putting behind me. I think it'll be fine for doing other types of projects I have in mind, but who knows if I'll have time to get to those at some point. But, well, I'll have the time. It's whether or not I manage my time well. But the new green screen I bought is, it's one of those ones that's where it's got like a spring-loaded frame in it, so it just kind of pops into shape and it stays taut, so you have no wrinkles in it. So it'll be easier for me to get a clean, background image to show up. Because that's been the problem for me to get the green screen to work. Wise, you have to do such a weird fiddling with all the sensitivity and hue matching and all that stuff to get it to deal with the variation on the fabric-y thing as it's weird shadows and wrinkles show up. Anyway, so if I can come up with some stuff that will work well, there will be new green screen stuff. So probably be, me putting fractals behind me and stuff like that, because I think you all know how I go. Oh, I take walks all the time, man. I don't ever like go to clubs or anything like that anymore, but I walk everywhere. I'm a pedestrian. Well, that's not true. Sometimes people will give me rides, but I won't have somebody give me a ride. Like if I'm, you know what I mean? That's like if somebody else is going that way, I'll catch a ride with them kind of thing, but I don't like people making a special trip for me just in a car. I'd rather walk or take public transportation. I mean, I have in the past, but, and I probably will in the future, but I prefer to okay, let's see. Man, took me a minute, MSC. I didn't quite get it. All right, now I'm going to start doing that where I'm going to do it with my hand. It's just easier for me for whatever reason to go like to tap over there while I speak quietly over here, and I'll speak quietly over here, and maybe do a little bit of whispering while I do some tapping over there. And I'll do a little bit more whispering over here while I tap over there. And I think I'm about to switch it up so that I'll whisper over there and tap over here. And so now I will whisper over here. And I will tap over there. And all the while trying to, make sure I can keep an eye on the comments. But whispering over here and tapping over there while I'm whispering over here and tapping over sometime in the past you could revisit. Do you mean and revisit as in talk about it, or you mean revisit if I could go back in time, would I like to go back to that particular point in time? Oh, you're right, I should. Thank you, MSC. Duh. How about that? You know, Mr. Pickles, I thought about that for a while, actually, even before I started the channel. And even when I lived in San Francisco, this was, many years ago. There's this place in San Francisco. It's called Voice One, and they do voiceover. It has a voiceover studio, but they also had this sort of training thing that you could do where you could, pay them for like weird. I don't know. It was an interesting thing. I did a couple times of it, and then till I realized that voice acting is acting and it's showbiz and you have to like go to auditions and all this. I was like, oh no, I just want people to call me up and say, hey, would you record this for me? And it'd be easy, and I would just do it, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I have to actually go compete with people and do hard work for it? No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just stay home. Anyway, yeah, I wouldn't, if somebody, said, hey, would you do something? Actually, some guy did talk to me about maybe doing some, I think it's for a game he's working on. I think he's in Germany or something. Somebody, watches my videos said, hey, I'm working on this thing, we're making a game, would you be willing to do some voices for a character? And I said, yeah, sure. He never got back to me, so I don't know if it's still in the works or not, and they said they'd pay me, so I don't know. So I guess that would be a voice actor credit in a sense. Anyway, so back in time, if I would, there's a lot of points in time in my life I would like to go back to. Some I won't go into any detail with, but there's a lot of them I'd like to go back in time, especially if I could go and be active as opposed to just being, going back and just sort of being a fly on the wall and watching. But there's a lot of decisions in my life that I just totally screwed the pooch on. I'd like to go back and have another go at, Although the danger in those fantasies is that's like we are who we are because of what we've experienced and gone through, right? So as crappy as a lot of my past has been, it's kind of who I am, right? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Oh, man. Go that way. I get these little daddy long leg spiders that come down here because it's like, a converted garage, basement, whatever. And they like coming down here, which I don't mind. They eat the flies and stuff that get in here now and again, but they always want to get in my stuff, like all my equipment and stuff. Go live on the roof or in the ceiling or whatever and get the flies. I don't want you crawling on my equipment. Man, I don't want spider webs on my equipment. Because then I have to keep getting a dusting thing and dusting it off. And you guys just live over there and eat the flies for me. J.K. Simmons. Who's J.K. Simmons? I'm drawing a blank on who that might be. Oh, anyway, back in time. Where would I like to go back in time? Maybe if I could just observe and not have to re-changing my life or something. Oh, man. Any number of concerts. Like, I've seen Miles Davis several times. Any one of those concerts would be great to go back to. I've seen Ornette Coleman a few times. I'd like to go to any of those again. You know what I mean? So there's some... And of course, I'm sure I've told you guys this story about seeing Nirvana open for Dinosaur Jr. at Iguanas down in Tijuana. That was a fantastic show. So you're trying to grow a beard, John. Well, you don't try, man. You just let it happen. That's the only thing I can tell you, right? I have a pretty prolific beard and always have, right? My beard grew fast and was coarse and the whole thing. Yeah, black widows are shy creatures, man. They don't want anything to do with us. You know what I mean? Clearly if they bite you, it can be bad news, but they're not as deadly as everybody's afraid of. Clearly it would suck and you'd probably get some kind of infection or something, or not necessarily an infection, but some sort of, maybe it would turn into an infection. But I remember reading an article about that was talking about how there's a lot fewer deaths from things like black widows and brown recluse than people think. That a lot of that stuff is exaggerated, and it makes sense if you think about it. Venom of any kind, by all venomous animals, is really expensive biologically for them to produce. You know, those are really complex molecules, and they don't synthesize like, you know, easy. So they need it to hunt, right? I mean, they can use it obviously for defense, but that's, you know, they would much rather just run away and not have to bite you. Because, like, you know, yeah, you know, anyway. Yeah, see, that's the right result, Tim, right? You just, yeah, there you go. Don't, you know, I'm not going to bother you, you don't bother me. I like spiders a lot, but I tend to just leave them alone. My uncle used to keep a tarantula, and my niece kept a tarantula for a while as well, and those are, they can be, well, they're just, yeah, they're calm little things. They don't, you know, they feel funny, though, you know, when they do that. Let's see if I can mimic it, you know, when they do their, right, you know how they do that crawl with their legs is all kind of very interesting, the way they rhythmically go about it. Anyway, I'm missing comments, aren't I? MSC, dude, you just slay me. You just slay me. All right, let's do some brushing on microphones, shall we? Do I know the Christmas movie Red One? No, I don't think I saw that. I don't think a tarantula could kill a human unless you were like super allergic to its venom. I don't think they produce a lot of venom. I mean, maybe there's that Brazilian one that's really big. I don't know, that might be able to do some damage to a human. It's probably because it's got like some kind of necrotic venom or something like that, you know. I think if you got bit by a tarantula, it would just hurt more because, you know, their fangs are, they'll actually hurt bad poking you going in, right? But I've never been bit by one, so I might be talking out my ass. You know, I had heard that, Elijah, about the Parliament. Yeah. I mean, if you'd asked me, I wouldn't have been able to come up with it, but now that you say it, I have heard that before. I like those types of things. Like a murder of crows or whatever. That's an amusing one. I can't think of any off the top of my head now, but I remember seeing a list somewhere, or maybe online or something, that was just a big long list of all the kind of amusing, you know, mostly animal groupings, but just groupings in general. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the brush over there while I whisper over here, and whisper over here, and brush over there, and whisper over here. And, you know what I'm going to do is I feel like this is in my way, so I'm going to bring it down kind of here. So I don't know, it seems better for me when I'm, you know, doing the mic thing. Yeah, that's, here, actually, maybe I'll take it down a little bit lower. Even just put it kind of on the bottom, shall we? Here we go. Like that. That's better. All right. Now I will brush over there while I'm whispering over here, and brushing over there while I'm whispering over here, and brushing over there while I'm whispering over here. And then now I will do the opposite. I will brush over there while I whisper over here, and I will brush over there while I whisper over here, and I will brush over there while I whisper over here, and I will brush over there while I whisper over here. Ooh, crap. Don't bang into things, Bill. What was this now? I saw something about Funkadelic. Where did that go? I'm pretty sure tarantulas are venomous. It's probably just not something that's terribly toxic to humans or, something like that. But I think most spiders do some sort of venom, don't they? I would have thought so. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not a spider expert, but a parliament funkadelic. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, good one, Philip. Good one. Oh man, I wouldn't burn up a tarantula. They're pretty, like most spiders, they're pretty timid little things. And they would be mostly rather left alone than hassled. But I've never seen arachnophobia. Let's brush over here on this one a little bit. Do a different thing. What do I want to do? I'm thinking I might play some more octortle just because I kind of feel like it. Okay, I'll come back over here and let's come back to there. Do this one there. There we go. Let's go to here though. And we'll do the practice of the sequence just because I think that's a little, oops, I need to do this, don't I? Let's move you down just a bit. Actually, you know what, I think I'll do that back to there and we'll shrink it just a bit. How's that? And now let me get that. Come on, you silly thing, get out of my way. There we go. Sometimes this software seems to be pretty weirdly finicky. I don't know what the problem was this evening when I was trying to get it going. It's just like the camera just didn't want to turn on. It was like really frustrating. I was like, wait, I just bought this thing. I mean, it's not like it's $1 million or anything, but you spend some money on something, you expect it to kind of work, right? All right, let's see where I'm at here with the comments. I don't know. I think that, yeah. I think my microphones are, yeah, they might be jealous creatures, don't you think? I like spiders. Yeah, tarantulas being venomous. Yeah. What do I think of snakes? I have a similar attitude about snakes as I do spiders. Although, here in California, we don't really, I haven't seen all that many snakes here in the Bay Area. In San Diego, especially when I was a kid, where my grandparents' house was, well, when I was a kid, there was a smaller population, so there was not as much development out where they lived, and it slowly kind of encroached on them as time passed. But, well, here, since I'm just talking, I'll just switch back to here, right? But we used to see rattlers and king snakes, which, would go after rattlers, right? That was pretty much the only snakes I would see down there, so that's all I'm kind of used to in dealing with snakes. And rattlers, of course, warn you. And again, they don't want to bite you if they don't have to, right? They'd rather just rattle and have you go the other way. And king snakes are, they're a constrictor, so they don't really do a venom thing. Anyway, let's see where. And yeah, the bird's Hitchcock. Now, dude, MSE. Hitchcock's worst movie is Topaz. That movie is just a stinker. Holy mackerel. But yeah, I mean, I didn't care for the birds. It's like a, second from the bottom. which is kind of disappointing because, you know, when you look at things like Vertigo and Rear Window and To Catch a Thief and, you know, all this stuff, it's like, man, or, you know, Rope is pretty fantastic, you know, but. Oh yeah, Dylan, down in Texas, don't you guys have like some of those crazy poisonous things? Like, what was it? Something moccasins? Are those in Texas, or is that farther into the south? And I mean, farther east. I don't know. I just remember, for some reason, I have it in my head that you guys have some pretty poisonous things over there, as far as snakes. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I haven't really, well, all of the kind of camping, hiking stuff I've done has only been here in California. And so, I don't know, I've never, and when I've been hiking or camping, I have heard rattlesnakes. I've never seen one. I only saw snakes with any regularity. Well, like I said, when I was down staying with my grandparents, when their house was still kind of looking like the boonies or something. But hey, Nathan, thank you. Much love back to you, too. Well, you know, hopefully somebody would get to you, Cape Manda, before you actually died from the heart attack, right? Water moccasin, yeah. Aren't those super poisonous? Yeah, North by Northwest is a good one. My favorite is actually To Catch a Thief. I just really, I mean, it's something, it's, you know, not quite as suspenseful as some of those other ones, but I just really like the tale of it. And of course, I have a huge crush on Grace Kelly. Her and Kim Novak. All right, right on. Thanks, Dylan. You mean as far as Hitchcock, or do you mean just movies in general? Yeah, that's what I thought about the water moccasin. Thanks, Tilly boy. I'll have to think about the movie thing. Oh wow, Fafum, or is it Fafum or Fafum? Yeah, Jim, that's a great movie. Oh, movies in general, okay. Yikes, I'd rather just not get bit by something that venomous, you know what I mean? Oh, I hate to laugh, Kate Manda, but that's just, you know, it brings to mind something that sounds like it's out of a comedy movie, you know what I mean? I just have this picture of a mom going, ah, running, you know, down the hall or something while her kids are like going, what? Oh, I see snakes in the zoo, right? Ah, man, I found it completely disappointing, man. I mean, if you want to go watch it, by all means, go watch it, but I think Topaz is a stinker. High Anxiety was better. Oh, man. Oops, wait, what this? Oh, did you type your comment in again, Nathan? It looks like it came in twice. Well, you know, much love to you again. From California to Australia. What is my favorite animal? Well, I think I'd have to say elephant. That's funny, Kate Manda. All right, on. What'd you do with it, Tim? Just leave it be? Okay, you know what? Since we're just chatting like that, I'm going to go ahead and go back over to playing Octortle. I gotta get better at being able to deal with this arrangement, dialing it a great start, huh? So let's do plum. Is this going to be like macaw or something? Yeah. And a posy. Oh no. Alright, and what is this? Valve, maybe? Okay. Woolly, I guess. Carve. Is this going to be React? Is that fine if I... Looks like that's okay. Yep, okay. And filmy. And hound. That went pretty well. Okay, let's see about the comments. It's kind of a espionage sort of thing. Oh, all right. That's what they should be doing, Tim, right? They'd rather be where they live, right? Oh, wow. A hedgehog as a pet. Interesting. I never even thought about having that as a pet. I guess they're small little things, aren't they? No, I've not, Tim. I went to see, what movie did I go see? I went to go see a movie with a friend. Oh, it's been a while ago now. But it's the only time I ever walked out on a movie. It's probably been like 20 years ago. What the hell was it? I can't even think of what it was, but I was sitting there watching. I just was like, not into it. Wasn't getting it. Didn't like it. It's kind of dull. And I turned over to this, the woman I went to the film with, and I was like, hey, do you wanna split? This is ridiculous. And so we went and got a bite to eat, and then that was that. But a cheetah, yeah, cheetahs are cool. Running fast. Although I feel bad for cheetahs, man, because other lions and hyenas and stuff will go steal their prey from them, and that sucks for them because like they have to spend so many calories just to get that stuff. It's like it's hard. Oh wow. Anyway, watching you guys chat about that stuff. Let me get back. Let's play another game, Bill. And I'll probably do some, I don't know, we got the crinkles bags and bubble wraps and stuff, and of course I still have the chunk of wood and the beard brush to get to. And skill, I guess. Tacky. What is this going to be? With 2 L's. I'm drawing a blank. Does anybody have an idea? Anyway, look and see what's going on here with the comments. Why Tom bought what was hard? I don't know what to make of that nasal penny. That's certainly true, James. Oh man, nasal penny, I feel bad. Yikes, I mean, I hate to laugh, but yeah, I'm sorry about that. McGilla Gorilla. Man. What is that going to be? I'm thinking it's got to be I just don't see it. I guess I could go use Word Hippo and see what we could find in there. So I'm thinking it's got to be A-L-L-E, yeah? What is that? What am I not thinking? Oh, no, it's ladle, isn't it? I kept thinking I was getting stuck because for some reason my brain wouldn't let go of the double L. That's going to be frond, of course. Okay. It's going to be width. That's going to be, well, snake, right? Here we go. And fence. And leery. Okay. Hey, Zuby. All right, let me get off this mess for a minute. And we'll do there. Okay. And what should be next, I think? Well, you know, Cape Manda, the only reason I have any skill at this is because I just play it all the time. You know what I mean? Wait, it's oh, wow, I'm sorry to hear that, White Tom Bot. Well, chill with us for a while. Maybe stuff you can decompress a bit. All right, what we're going to do first here, I've just changed my mind. I'm not going to do the crinkle stuff just yet. I'm going to do that chunk of wood first. I'm not going to be able to respond signal in German because my German ability is pretty weak, but I will probably be doing more, yeah, auf Deutsch. I kind of stopped because, like, very few people watch them. You know what I mean? And in honesty, it's like, I like doing it kind of, but it's also difficult for me because my comprehension is so poor because it's been so long since I took it in school, and then, of course, if you don't use it, like, you forget stuff. But I do remember a lot of the pronunciation rules. I think I remember most of the pronunciation rules, you know, but not to say that I pronounce things properly, you know, anymore. But although I've gotten a few German speakers who have said that they think my pronunciation is actually pretty good, so I don't know. Hey, Stank Cooler, or Cooter. Well, even if it is a you thing, man, you can just chill, right? We can give you a little bit of space to kind of, you know, figure out what that is about. Yeah, I personally don't know anybody who's been able to make a long distance thing work. I mean, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I'm sure that people could give me examples that have worked, but hey, Atomic Ninja. All right, well, welcome, man. I'm doing fairly well. All things considered, yeah, you know. But I'm glad you made it, man. Hope you have a good time. Oh, and there's still a fair amount of time left, too, according to the evil timer. Oh, you know, I just realized that. Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling so lonely, man. That can suck, absolutely. You know, it's one of those things, it's like, it's hard to... Yeah, that's true, Kate, man. Yeah, that's, you know... which I use the Facebook video chat thing a lot. Yes, to the timer. But like my buddy Steve, that man, I met him in 1985, right? So we've known each other quite a bit. But he's the one that teaches at Chester, teaches art. And so I hang out with, actually I'll be doing that tomorrow morning. I hang out with him. Sometimes his wife hangs out too, and then his young daughter, who's 10. He's like, well, he's older than his wife, but they had kid late. But consonants and no vowels. Well, you know, that's actually not that impossible, is it? I mean, I could just go. I mean, we could just do a little bit of that right now, right? I could go. K, 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 t, 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 k, t, right? Because I like K's and T's a lot. K, k, t, t, k, t, t, right? And then what else is good? Oh, sometimes this type noises like, right? That's a consonant, right? But it's, I think they call that a fricative, right? Has anybody taken any anthropology or linguistic? Isn't that a fricative? I think those are all fricatives. Anyway, I might be remembering wrong. That's what happens when you get old and abuse your brain with chemicals too often. Thanks, Kate Manda. Yeah, I could do that, right? I could go. Nope, I haven't got to it, James. There will be beard brush. Yikes, well, that sucks to... So I'll tap over there. I'll actually use my fingernails now for a little while. You know, that kind of... in thinking about your plight, Why Tom Bot. I mean, this is obviously tangential, but the whole thing about, you know, cannabis and other sorts of things, I just think that's, especially in the instance of cannabis, it's like, just legalize it. I mean, it's so much less harmful than alcohol, you know what I mean? Hey, greetings to Chili from California. Yeah, the alcohol wouldn't be helpful for me at all. You know, Tim, I don't think it should ever been made illegal. You know? I just think that's just ridiculous. But, well... Wow, thanks, Malik. Oh, wow. Okay, Nasal Penny, I won't hold it against you. What? You mean you like another streamer other than me? You can't do that. Yeah, I know what you mean, White Tom, but that's just ridiculous. No, I've never done salvia. I've heard mixed reviews about it. I've heard some people that really like it, and then I've heard other people say that it's a really bad time, so I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'd... All right, let's move over here a little bit. I'll do a little bit of whispering over here while I do some tapping over there. I'll do some whispering over here while I do some tapping over there. Wait, who was it last week that was saying that they liked when I did the faster? I guess a few people like the kind of more rain-like time. You know, I don't know if I do it as well. I think Maria does it really well in a couple of different videos. But of course, you know, we all know that I think Maria is pretty much the bee's knees when it comes to ASMR. Feeding the devil face to face. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard a lot of people say that it's a real bad time. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit of a break from weed. I found myself kind of that, and also binging stuff too much. You know what I mean? It's just it's too easy to kind of smoke a joint and sit in front of the TV and go, duh, you know what I mean? I've been doing a little bit too much of that recently, so I'm going to try to dial both behaviors back, especially since I have such, you know, issues about not being good at managing my time. I don't need, you know, things sapping it. Oh, I know. There's so many of Maria's videos that I like that are the older ones. But I do watch her new ones. Not all of them, you know what I mean? It's like I've probably only seen maybe 25% of her material at tops, because I keep getting stuck in ones that I really like a lot, so I keep rewatching them. But then I find another one and I go, ooh, but I really like that one now too. You know what I mean? It's just this, well, whatever, it is what it is. Well, there's one right there. Atomic Ninja is Maria. AS Marvelous I like a lot too, although she stopped making new stuff. Was it, I think hers, is it something Shortbread or something like that? She's Scottish. I like a lot of her stuff. I've been listening to this lady, I think her name is Alana. Hey Malik, that's fantastic, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, top tier, fantastic. Well, you know what that means, folks. We all know how this goes. Oh no, what am I going to do? I guess I'll have to use my hands. Well, okay. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. And the crowd goes, oh. Oh. There you go. There's 3 cheers from Malik. Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like I have a bit of a sweet tooth, but not really. You know what I mean? It's like I like candy and stuff, but you know, but if I smoke weed, man, I want to eat candy and cookies and you know, so I have to be careful about that because otherwise I just start munching the crap down. You know, I don't think I've seen Mad Morph. I'll have to. Yeah, I don't know. People suggest people to me all the time, and of course I forget like more than half the suggestions. But okay, I think. You know, I think her style has evolved in this. Yeah, I think that's true. Although I, you know, still like it. But yeah, you're right. It has. She's, you know, certainly changed. Oh, I know. Taco Bell, man. There's one down the hill from me. It's like I have to just not go there. Holy mackerel. Okay, you know what? Just since James asked about it. Well, let's start with just doing some basic brushing of the beard shell. Oops, I keep getting my hair in there. Let's do it over here a little bit. Anyway, that's enough brushing of the hair. Yeah, get the freaking hair out of it now. All right, here we go. Tapping on the beard brush. Okay, so I'm missing comments. Yeah, cheese and crackers and fruit is a way healthier option, isn't it? Wow, thanks, Caveman. Huh? Well, get some sleep, Elijah, and catch you in the future, man. That's too bad, Tim. I'm glad, White Tombot. That's fantastic. You know, we're here every Saturday night, 8 p.m. California time, right? Envy Hook, all right. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. Whether you almost never type or not. Because you can't say never anymore because you just did. I haven't watched Ephemeral Rift in a bit of time now. Mostly just because I don't really watch men that often, you know. Actually, when I think we talked about this last time, right? When I have listened to male guys recently, one of them is that Lloyd guy, and then the other one was that can't think of his name. We talked about it because he did this thing that was like where it was like a role play of a ASMR from the 90s or something that was done on VHS, but it was really well done and convincing. It's Matt something. Is it Matt Tastic? Is that the guy? Do I have that right? And of course, occasionally massage ASMR. I like him a lot too. I mean, I think ER is fantastic in his creativity and stuff, but the problem is that a lot of times his voice just doesn't work for me as far as the ASMR thing goes. But, you know, that's a me thing, right? It's, you know, whatever's going to work for me. Typically, it's female voices is the most reliable thing for me. Okay, let's see. Opinions on cars in general. You know, I'm not the guy to ask about cars, really. I mean, I don't drive anymore. I haven't driven since I was 40. So it's almost 20 years now. It'll be 20 years this summer. But I find cars fascinating because technologically they're a pretty amazing, you know, feat of engineering, all of that, and some of them are really quite attractive. My real problem with cars is that they're everywhere and they're irresponsibly used and irresponsibly marketed to the public, and, you know, they're not really the best way to move people around. I mean, they certainly work in, you know, specific situations, and there's going to be, you know, ways that they're, you know, probably a really good application, but for most people that are doing commuting, etc., it's like, hey, you're probably better off just, you know, having wherever you live have better public transportation. Yeah, Hondas do have a good reputation, don't they? And the last car I actually owned was a Toyota truck, but before that I owned Volkswagens for many years, air-cooled ones like the old ones. I had a bus and a squareback, although my wife took the squareback because she mostly drove it because it was an automatic and she didn't know how to drive a stick, so she took the squareback and I took the bus when we divorced. Wait, what is that about kicking puppies? Yeah, you know, Malik, isn't Spain has a relatively new high-speed rail, don't they? I remember seeing something about that, like, I don't know, maybe it's been a year or two ago, so maybe it's not that new anymore, but I understand that it's like really quite a successful bit of kit. Yeah, that's true, isn't it, Nasal Penny? You know, I'm not ever sure, you know. Although there was that, you know, what was that thing that he was, well, whatever. I don't want to get into talking bad things about ER, so I'll just leave it be. But Alta Velocidad Española, right? Okay. So what, Alta's upper, so right, upper velocity in Spain or something, right? Because this used to be Alta California, right? Alta California and Baja California. And we had a gold rush, so we took Alta California from Spain, or, you know, what is now Mexico, but Um, do I miss driving? Every once in a while I miss driving because I did enjoy driving, like driving down the coast highway or something like that, you know. But not really, not all that often. Like, what I don't miss is, you know, having to drive around town to get to places and do things, you know. I don't miss that at all. I hate sitting in traffic. You know, when I'm on a bus or a train, I can, you know, typically read or something like that, so. Or sometimes I could just chill out too, you know. Do kind of a weird little public meditation thing, I suppose. Yeah, the thing between LA and SF is there's a whole lot of political nonsense that goes on with that, and they're just, yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to get built, frankly. No, I haven't driven since I lost my license. Yeah, the last day I drove was on my 40th birthday, because I had, my parents threw me a party, so I drove myself to the party and drove myself home, and that was it, because my license expired. And holy mackerel, Malik, that's crazy, super generous. Okay, well, I appreciate. You're not gonna let me do it for free. Well, we all know how this goes, gang. 3 cheers. 3 cheers for Malik. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. And the crowd goes, oh, oh. Oh, I got a DUI. It's actually kind of a silly thing. I got the DUI, it was a month and something before my birthday, actually. And I went to my sister's house. She was having like kind of a little hangout barbecue thing. There was kind of a few people in this apartment complex that she lived in, and I used to live in that very complex, so I went back there to hang out and, you know, just sort of hang out and party with people. And so I was coming home, and I had drinks, there's no doubting that, or no lying about that. But it was just like, oh, I think I lived about 1.5 miles from her over a hill, and I was too lazy to walk or anything like that, so, you know, I drove, of course. But on my way home, I realized, oh, I'm getting low on smokes, so I decided to go to a convenience store and buy cigarettes. And then I went down there and bought the cigarettes, and I was on my way home along this frontage road that would take me along a freeway to get me to my house, so I didn't have to get on the freeway, kind of thing. And there's a stop sign. It's like, okay, so I rolled up to the stop sign. I didn't see anybody, and it was a T, right, because it's a frontage road, right? So let me put my hand up here. So it's like, and then there's thing here, right? So it's a T thing. And so I kind of looked ahead of me, and I looked to the right. There's nobody. There's a car way behind me that I could see lights, you know, small lights in the distance. So I just rolled through the stop sign, because it was about, I don't know, it was about midnight, maybe a little bit later. And the car that was way back in the distance was a CHP, and they rolled up on me and pulled me over, and they smelled the booze on my breath. And by that time in California, they had just changed the law, or not just, but you know, the law is that if they smell the booze on you, right, then you have to essentially do the breathalyzer, or they'll take you into custody for a blood or urine test. That's your 2 choices. And I just did the breathalyzer, and I failed, so they took me in. Yeah, it sucked. And then, well, you guys, this is a long story. I'll try to keep it brief now. Anyway, I did try to get my license back after I did the whole, you know, pay the fine and do go to the school and do community service and, you know, all that kind of thing. The judge just said time served, so I didn't have to spend any more than the night I spent in the drunk tank. So, anyway, I went to go back and get my license, and the DMV said that I hadn't completed, you know, the stuff that the court had assigned, and I did, and I even had the paperwork for it. But I was like, oh no, it's not right. It's not what it says here, and they're bringing all this stuff on the computer. I was like, what? Anyway, I got pissed off and left because I was kind of, well, whatever. It was a time constraint thing. And anyway, I went back eventually to try again, and they told me that I had to send away for this thing from the court, and then have the court send that to DMV in Sacramento, and then DMV in Sacramento would contact the DMV that's over the hill from me. I think it's in Dublin or something. And it was all this whole rigmarole so that they'd be able to have a piece of the facsimile that came off of a microfiche thing, right? You know what I mean? And I was like, I have the piece of paper here that's part of the triplicate form that actually has the judge's real signature, like the actual piece of paper. And to them, that wasn't as valid as if I did this whole rigmarole so they could have a facsimile of the thing, as opposed to the actual piece of paper. You know what I mean? It pissed me off. It still pisses me off. Anyway, I eventually got a hold of somebody at the court. I can't get that thing that DMV wants because the court no longer has those records because it was a closed case. And after a certain period of time, which isn't really all that long, if a case is closed, they don't keep the paperwork anymore because it's useless to them, right? And I said, okay, but they're saying that I didn't, complete the stuff that and the lady laughed and she goes, if you hadn't completed it, the judge would have issued a bench warrant. There's no bench warrant. You know what I mean? She was just like, this is ridiculous. And I go, how do I get the DMV to understand that? And she just, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so there you go. The DMV says, I have to get this stuff from the court, and the court says it doesn't exist anymore. It's a closed case. He's done. But there you go. So at that point I gave up and was just pissed off. But then shortly after all that happened, I ended up moving into San Francisco, and then I just kind of came to realize, I don't really need a car. And ever since then, I just don't drive it. So that's that. Could I play out some games right now? Yeah, I could do that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go play the regular one as opposed to the sequence. Let me go to here, and we'll go to here. And let's say a new game. There we go. Okay, am I in the right window? Yes, I am. Okay. Right. That's funny, White Tom, but let's see. So that's got to be drunk, doesn't it? What, Gusto? What's that going to be? Guppy, Gully, Gummy. I don't know. Let's try Plum just to rule out loud. Okay, so Guppy. Vapid. World. Port. Is that going to be Leech? And what's that one going to be? Swing. All right, here we go. Let's see, what comments have I missed here? Last time I went to the DMV just to get my California ID, that was fine. I made an appointment. And it was, boom, boom, boom. It was, Although I think this next time, I think my ID is good. This one's good till the 27th. But when I get the next one, I think you have to do those new ones. I can't remember what they call it, but it functions as a, kind of like a passport junior kind of a thing, I guess. I don't remember what they call them, but. I play this game too much. I actually often will play, any of the games you see me playing gameplay, I play like while I'm listening to music or answering my emails or, this kind of thing. It's just kind of, I just do it kind of mindlessly a lot. Real ID, that's it. Thank you. That's exactly it. What is that going to be? Broke, maybe? So let's try plum. Yep. And dream, probably. And cameo. Oops. Cameosis. Anybody know that tune? I'm sure I sang it completely wrong, but tibia, right? Okay. Remit. And what is it about? Stop slouching, Bill. Jolly. Okay, I'll get that right now. And then what's this other one? Oh, zebra. All right. When was the last time I flew? You're welcome. Do I say R7QK or is it just Rick? Last time I flew. Holy mackerel. Oh, the last time I flew. Man, it's been a long time ago, I just realized. The last time I flew was when I was still drinking, so it was before I started the channel. So let's see, it would have been, yeah, it was the spring of 2012, because I went and stayed with a friend of mine's family for a vacation. They're down in San Diego. It was a really good friend of mine. He was in my wedding party. He was a bass player. He played in a band called The Seventh while I was playing in a band called Mr. Safari. Well, and then I moved into a different band called Playground Slap. It was, you know, back in the 80s, you know, in San Diego. But anyway, yeah, so I just flew from Oakland to San Diego and then back, of course. So yeah, man, forever. What's going on here? There we go. All right. Yep. Is that going to be quick? Oh, I could be Buick, right? Oh man! All right, what is this? Going to be Union? Okay. What is that one? I don't see what that is. Yes, that. Yeah, 13 years, right? Yeah. What is that going to be there? I don't see. Oh, stock is going to be that one, isn't it? And maybe fetid. Well, I don't know how to advise you, Richard. I mean, I am, well, I am a fucked up blackout drunk, but AA didn't work for me. But, you know, but that's fine. Everybody needs to find their own program and work it, but that's going to be vapid, isn't it? Nope. Do I have enough to finish? Yeah, I have 4 guesses to get 3. Minor. Okay. Okay, so rabid. Okay, there we go. And then now what I have over here. Abby. And there you go. Let's see if I'm catching up on that. No, Tim. I had quit drinking the July before I started this channel because I had to. I'm sure I've told you guys that before. I, went to urgent care with a really bad headache. They thought I was presenting with a stroke, so they took me in did a whole mess of tests immediately. which were inconclusive, but they found no lesions or permanent damage. A tremendous amount of what's the word I'm looking for? Well, I can't think of it now, but why is my brain being so dead? Oh, it's going to be night, isn't it? Inflammation, that's the word I was trying to find and couldn't. So a lot of inflammation, but no actual, lesions or anything. Anyway, their advice to me was, you should quit or you're going to die. And so I said, okay, I'll quit. I mean, it's about as, as basic as that. Oh, I didn't do freak. So, chair. What is that one going to be over there? Something. Twang, maybe? Okay. Oh, that's going to be wooer, isn't it? Nope. All right. Rower. Okay. What is that there? Pedal. Okay. Yeah, let me see. I think I'm missing comments again. Oh yeah, I do smoke weed every now and again. And I don't, it's not a replacement because they're two entirely different things for me anyway. Do I still vape? No, I do not. I do occasionally smoke weed, although I do have a vaporizer for dry flower vaporizer thing, although I'm not, I don't know. I don't like it that much, to be honest. But so, yeah. Yeah, there's something to that dominator. That's my thing. I just have to not drink. But the good news for me is I have a really supportive, family and a certain number of friends, So my problem with, well, not just AA, but any meeting system is every time I left a meeting, I wanted to drink. I mean, I wanted to drink more after going to meetings. And so I was like, all right, I have to stop this. You know what I mean? I just have to stop this. It's just not going to work. Yeah, when I quit, I did a thing through Kaiser that was the CDRP, Chemical Dependency Recovery Program. And it's like an outpatient thing, you know what I mean? So you're not, it's like a detox thing, but you don't stay the night there. And it was within walking distance of my house in San Francisco, so it was fine as far as that went. But they used to always say to, play the movie, to play it out to see how it's gonna, what's gonna happen. If you have that drink, what's likely to happen? We all know how this goes, man, Hey, the Wizard Tuesday. Fantastic. Well, okay, gang, we know what we're doing, right? So, 3 cheers for the Wizard. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, oh. Oh. Thank you very much. That's fantastic, man. I'm going to bang this. Okay, there we go. Try not to bang the camera there. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I think quitting booze was psychologically really difficult. It was physically difficult too, just from being addicted to something. But nicotine for me was way harder in a physical withdrawal sense. Man, man, nicotine withdrawals for me were just miserable. Absolutely miserable. I mean, booze was really hard, don't get me wrong, but... Oh, that's a lewd, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, so my only real consistent drug anymore, well, I mean, I do, like I said, I do use cannabis, but yeah, I'm trying to think about how much do I probably get. You know, I don't know. I maybe smoke a quarter ounce a month. I mean, it's not that much, you know. Maybe a little bit more than that, but yeah, something like that. Oops, farce probably. Yep. Tunic probably. Joust, of course. Oops. Joust. Man, my typing is sucking today, isn't it? So is that Dance, Lance? Which one's it going to be? And the dogs are... I mean, my parents have, yeah, they've never really given me that much grief about anything like that. Although I don't know that they ever caught me smoking when I was younger. But let's try plum, just see what we're gonna get here. Nope. Lobby probably, yeah. Yeah, that's the same thing with me for weed, Philip. I mean, it's you know, very relaxing, and yeah, you know, put on Pink Floyd, sit in the recliner, you know what I mean? That's kind of the, or you know, put something on TV and just, you know, watch something silly and giggle at it, you know. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I don't think weed should be illegal, but I mean, clearly we need to be careful about, you know, while we're young, not. I mean, I'm certain I probably did. What is that? More crap than I should have when I was younger, but because you know your brain isn't fully cooked for, you know, well after you're 18 anyway. What is all of this now? I'm drawing a blank on several of them. Well, this one's going to be dance, isn't it? I thought, oh, that's going to be canon. Jesus. How do I not see these sometimes? Yeah, I guess I started smoking weed when I was in junior high, but it wasn't all that often. I guess I was in 8th grade, maybe. Yeah, I think it was 8th grade. And me and this buddy of mine, we knew a guy whose older brother had weed, so we would buy it off him. And I suppose for 8th grade, I probably smoked, with this buddy of mine, we probably smoked a half dozen joints between us, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like I was, you know, we were going crazy. But we were smoking weed, man, you know, it was like, I think that was more, you know, impactful on us than, oh, metal, isn't it? There we go. And so now this one. Is it guava, maybe? Hey, what do you know? That sounds pretty cool, Hawkwind with a strobe light, all right. What time is the timer saying? Oh, the timer is almost done, isn't it? Yikes. All right, well, you know what? Since that's happening, I'm going to stop with the games for now. And we'll probably go a little over just because I'm feeling in a good mood and I'm feeling like my back's not giving me too much grief, even after all the gardening today. So I may hate myself tomorrow, but I'll stay over a little bit. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the stuff, like a lot of my problems now are about bad habits that I've developed over the years. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, trying to get rid of those things. Yep, I see the thing. You're done now. I see it. That's fine. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this, and then I'm just going to say, we don't need to look at that right now. So we'll just blink. Come on. There we go. So we don't have to look at it right now. All right. Yeah, bonus bill. Do I like cats? Yeah, I do like cats. I like most pets type things, you know what I mean? I don't keep them, you know what I mean? But mostly because I think I probably wouldn't be a very good pet owner. You know, I'd like forget to feed them or something when I was busy or something like that, or you know what I mean? So I just play with other people's pets. Well, there you go. Yeah, it's probably best to, you know, keep the whole intoxication thing to, you know, a manageable whatever. But a fern that's climbing up to your thing, what should you name it? I don't know. GJKVR? I'm not, are those just initials, or do they have a significance that I'm not perceiving? I mean, you could just name the fern Fern. You know, a really good friend of my mom's when I was a kid had a cat named Fern. It was a really nice cat. It was one of those ones that if it got in your lap, it would do, you know, how they need. Leif Erikson, oh no. Kate Manning, you better be careful. You're going to end up like MSC with all these jokes. I usually eat in, but mostly just, well, two reasons. One, because, you know, I'm broke a lot. And two, sometimes sometimes I eat standing up. How's that? I mean, just because of my back, you know what I mean? It's weird that sometimes sitting and eating can be really uncomfortable for me. I'm not sure why that is, but what jokes? Yeah. You know what I didn't do? So we'll do this and then I'll call it a night. We'll do the crinkles. And then I'll say that tonight is done. Wow, Savage Penguin. Super generous, man. Yay, bonus bill. Okay, well, we know again how this goes. 3 cheers for Savage Penguin 13. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. And the crowd goes, oh. Oh. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate it. That's fantastic. Thank you. All right, what was I doing? Oh, Crinkleback. We're doing Crinkleback. So I will take the stuff out because I like ending with the big one. So I will start. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm going to do it in this order. I think it's probably a similar order that I did last week, maybe. So it's not exactly crinkly, but I like it nonetheless. Got some fun money tonight. You know, it's probably going to go towards buying plants. Not cannabis plants, just plants. I'm hoping to go this week and get, I wanted to get a couple of these things called kangaroo paw, but the place I wanted to get them doesn't have them anymore. Wow, Tim. Zowie. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all this generosity. You guys are going to cause me to choke up now. Okay, so, all right, anyway, we know how this goes, right? 3 cheers for Tim. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. And the crowd goes, ah. Ah. Thanks a bunch, Tim. That's fantastic. Okay, back to the rustly guy. Wow. Do you know if it does okay in full sun in California, Zeno? Because that's what I need. Because our front yard has no shade, really. I mean, except for what, happens, when the sun goes down. Hey, the last note. We are in time for just bonus bill. This is actually the show kind of officially ended a few minutes ago. I'm just, I'm a soft touch sometimes, I guess. So. Hey, Sir Stabby. Is Joey gonna go to bed now? Well, good night, man. Get some sleep, rest, rejuvenate, all of that stuff, right? Okay. Now we will go to this weird sort of bubble wrap. Do some crinkling over there while I do this. Yeah, I'll check into it. Zeno. Scotch moss, okay. So I know for part of the garden what I want to get is this thing called, I've seen it called both Mexican daisies and Santa Barbara daisies, but it's a little kind of mounding ground cover thing that has these small little daisy-looking flowers. Actually, you know what I could do? Give me a quick sec. I'll just, show you. Oh my goodness. Philip Smalley. Wow. Well, it is encore time, so. Okay, here we go. You guys are spoiling me. Okay. 3 cheers for Philip. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. And the crowd goes wild. Ah. Ah. Now what was I talking about? I forgot what my train of thought was. Oh, I was talking about I was going to do this. That's what I was going to do really quick. Just since we're here. Come on. Let me do this. And let me go to here. Let me go to here and here. And come on. And we scroll down. Okay, here, I'll use this. Let me. Oh, you know what, hang. Oh, this is when I switch over to it, it won't be dark mode, so. And this is the wrong browser. It doesn't have the forced dark mode thing. So let me go back over to here real quick. Boink. There we go, like that. Let me do this real quick, like that. Okay. Okay, so just to warn you guys, it is not dark mode. It's going to be bright as whatever. So you have been warned. So this plant right here, that's the Mexican daisy one. And I want to, because the part of the garden, I think I was telling you guys about it, right? That I'm going to have like the aloe and the jade and a few other succulents and some stuff. Anyway, I'm going to put this in that same part of the garden, kind of in between that stuff. Anyway, so this is the kind of stuff I'm looking to buy. So I'm going to stop spending so much money on weed and basically start spending it on, well, plants, other plants. Anyway. Okay, anyway, so where am I at now? Okay. Okay, well, you're welcome, Sir Stabby. Yeah, that might be a thing to do, Thanks, Kid Bandit. Yeah, as far as the money thing, yeah, I think you might be right. Well, good night, Sir Stabby. We'll see you in a future stream, man. Let me put the keyboard back now. I'm not typing that stuff anymore. And let me get back into that crinkling, shall I? I'll do a little whispering over here while I crinkle over there a little bit now. Let's do a little crinkling back here, see if that's any different, yeah. And I'll whisper over here too while I do a little crinkling over there off camera, I suppose, right? This is my least favorite crinkle thing now. Uh-oh. It's 10 o'clock. Hang on, that's a different alarm. That's take my gabapentin thing, so I have to remember to do that. That's the pill I take 3 times a day for nerve pain. I think, bear with me again. I think the mic you mentioned is the mic I am considering when I do upgrade. I think it's that. Let me get here really quick. Okay, here we go. Condenser mics. I'm looking at Sweetwater because that's usually where I buy stuff. And is it? Let's look at that. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was looking into, were the Lewitt mics. Because, yeah, they have very, very similar, like, self-noise characteristics and stuff like that to the 414, which I really quite like. And it also looks like they're, I've not used the Lewitt mic yet, but, yeah. But they're significantly cheaper, than the 414. Do I think evil exists? Well, see, here's the thing. All of these things that we do with these concepts or whatever, those are human concepts that we use to communicate with other humans, right? So the idea that whether or not they exist outside of our experiences, I don't know, so I guess I'd have to say probably not, or actually I'll just say no, because I think evil is a human concept that we use that has to do with the way we model and frame the world in our own heads. Anyway, that's my point on that anyway, or view or whatever. Nope, Tim. Streams are going to be every Saturday, starting at 8. Well, perhaps she's been possessed by the evil consciousness of some human or something. 2 bubble wrap pouches of different size bubbles. And do a little bit of whispering, very quietly whispering while I do some crinkling. And I'll do a little bit of very quiet whispering while I'm doing the crinkling. Cats are more evil than dogs. I think it's funny. And I'll do a little bit of whispering. Very nice and quiet whispering, fairly close to the microphone. Whisper, 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 whisper. And now I'll whisper over here, fairly close to the microphone, while I'm crinkling with my hands inside of each of those bubble wrap pouches. Whisper, whisper, whisper while I crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Whisper, whisper, whisper while I crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Okay. Now it's time for the big bag. I really like that sound. Okay, I think I'm going to call that done for tonight. Does anybody have any last minute questions or something? Oh, here, it looks like I've missed a couple of things here. Chaotic is better. I'm not sure. Did I miss something? Thanks, Bright Kid. Yeah, I've had several beards, goatees, mostly beards and or goatee. Well, not and or. That's silly. I mean, I guess you could say a goatee is a subset of a beard, right? Anyway, yeah, I've had beards. Yes, okay, I'll take my venison. Here's my pill jar. There we go. Gabapentin has been eaten. And I will, yeah. That's when I have to take multiple times a day. So, and for me, it does a very good job. What was Kate Manda? You said, yeah, Kate Manda said you did the gabapentin as well. I find it to be very effective for my nerve pain. Do you find it to be an effective thing for whatever it is you take it for your back? Is it a nerve pain issue, or is it something different? Oh, you like this one? I'll keep that in mind. Maybe I will put it into the rotation. If you don't mind my asking, Kate Manda, do you have like a debilitating back thing like mine, or is it just like you pull muscles, or is it, you know? Did you have a bulging disc or something like that, or? I hate to be so nosy, it's just I'm curious about that sort of thing. Anyway. Okay, that's enough of that stuff. I am procrastinating the ending of the night, so last chance to ask any questions, otherwise I'm going to say goodnight. So I'll give you just about a minute or so to do that, and then I will say goodnight. And I don't know, it seems, I don't know. I'll ask you guys just before I go. Does this, I don't know, I feel like this is, I think this might be a good setup. Well, anyway, you guys, I don't know, I hope it works for you guys. There you go. So I think I'm going to stick with this with the, you guys can't tell what I'm doing in here anyway, so with the various tables and lights and stuff. Anyway. Oh, wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Kate Manda. Well, thanks, Bright Kid. I appreciate that, and I am happy to be here. It is my intent to be here until I'm croaked, you know? I mean, there's, you know, either my sister or one of my nieces or something will have to make a video saying, okay, Bill's not going to make videos anymore. He died last night. That kind of thing, you know? Hopefully that is many years away, though. Okay, well, you know, gang, I think I'm saying goodnight. And I will see you all next Saturday at 8. And, oh, and also a reminder, let me look at my calendar really quick to double check, but day after tomorrow is Mind Test Monday. So, you're welcome, Kate Manda. Okay, that's it, gang. I'm procrastinating again.